New Jersey has seen a rise in organized gang activity, with law enforcement across the state tackling various violent gangs involved in criminal enterprises ranging from drug trafficking to firearms offenses and racketeering. Gangs such as the G-Shine Bloods, 47 Neighborhood Crips, Grape Street Crips, and the Gotti Boy movement have been linked to shootings, homicides, and widespread drug distribution. These criminal organizations, which span Monmouth, Ocean, Bergen, and Burlington counties, have also engaged in schemes such as dogfighting rings and financial fraud, including misappropriation of COVID-19 relief funds. Efforts by state and local authorities have resulted in significant indictments and arrests, shedding light on the dangerous networks that threaten public safety across urban and suburban communities in New Jersey. As a leader of the G-Shine Bloods, Xavier Reed was responsible for enforcing discipline, managing the gang's revenue streams from drug sales, and overseeing the operation of a lucrative dogfighting ring. These criminal activities funded the group's violent acts and helped Reed consolidate his power. To maintain control over illegal activities in Monmouth County, Reed employed intimidation tactics against those who showed disloyalty to him or the gang. He also sought to violently retaliate against former members and rivals. This included a conspiracy to two rivals and a member of a Lakewood-based G-Shine set who resisted his efforts to merge the set into his organization. Reed was aware of the ongoing conflicts between rival street gangs, such as the G-Shine Bloods and Grape Street Crips, and often bragged about uniting members from different gangs under a common criminal agenda. This alliance, which comprised of G-Shine Bloods, 47 Neighborhood Crips, and the Grape Street Crips, referred to as Golden State, was prepared to retaliate against anyone who disrespected them. The gang's criminal enterprise involved the possession, distribution, and sale of firearms within the network and was linked to more than a dozen shooting incidents in areas such as Asbury Park, Long Branch, Tinton Falls, Keansburg, and Neptune Township. The investigation revealed that Reed and other affiliates, including Dacian Smith, known as Beefy from Asbury Park, were responsible for violent acts across Asbury Park, Freehold Borough, and Neptune Township. The dogfighting operation extended beyond state borders, working with breeding facilities that trained dogs to fight and participating in interstate dogfighting events. In one instance, Reed lost $5,000 on a dogfight in Philadelphia. He also boasted about feeding his fighting dogs chickens and rabbits. Attorney General Gerber S. Gruhl announced that a state grand jury has indicted the alleged leader and 16 members of a narcotics network connected to the Blood Street Gang, accused of distributing significant quantities of drugs in Paterson. Additionally, 16 more individuals face charges for narcotics possession, including 15 who allegedly purchased drugs from the network, bringing the total number of defendants to 34. The investigation targeted a drug trafficking ring based in Paterson's 4th Ward, specifically an area known as 4K or the Four Corners, encompassing intersections at Mercer Street and Putnam Street, Rosa Parks Boulevard and Putnam Street, Mercer Street and Warren Street, and Rosa Parks Boulevard and Warren Street. This area is notorious for open-air drug dealing and gun violence. The drug network was allegedly operated by a local Bloods faction called the 4K Bloods or Corner Boys. In November, authorities apprehended most of the suspects, including the alleged ringleader Jalmo Reese, 35, of Passaic and J, and one of his primary suppliers, Jesse Garcia, 27, of Lodi and J. Reese and several other defendants are said to be members of the 4K Bloods. During the crackdown, authorities executed a search warrant at Garcia's residence, seizing 90 pounds of that H, a handgun, hollow-point bullets, and over $19,000 in cash. In total, 3 firearms were confiscated during the investigation. The other members faced various second- and third-degree drug charges, while the 16 alleged buyers faced third-degree drug possession charges. State authorities have charged members of a Trenton gang with multiple violent crimes, including deletion, attempted deletion, and drug trafficking. The gang, known as the Get Money Boys, GMB, allegedly controlled the drug trade in a local neighborhood and was involved in several shootings over several months. Charles Willis, 27, the reputed leader of GMB, and 9 other gang members face various charges. In total, 16 members and associates of GMB are accused of distributing in the area around the Oakland Street apartments. The joint investigation by New Jersey State Police led to the seizure of multiple firearms and nearly 20,000 doses, stamped with labels such as Fruit Loops, according to Gruhl. One of the most serious charges involves Davian Fenderson, 25, who is accused of carrying out the demise of 32-year-old Michael Barnes on Willis's orders. Fenderson allegedly shot Barnes on Commonwealth Avenue in Trenton on December 27. Authorities arrested Willis and his girlfriend, 24-year-old Desham Brown, at their Willingboro residence earlier this month. During the arrest, officers discovered a defaced firearm accessible to a toddler and an illegal high-capacity magazine. As a convicted felon, Willis now faces additional charges related to firearm possession and child endangerment. In a separate incident in February, GMB members allegedly fired at two men, causing their car to crash, and then shot at a police officer who witnessed the shooting. The officer, part of the New Jersey State Police Crime Suppression Central Unit Task Force, was in an unmarked vehicle when he saw the shooting near West State Street and Parkside Avenue. The suspects fired at the officer during a pursuit. Shaquan Hearns, 21, Dion Battle, 28, and Yohannan Salter, 28, have been charged with deletion of the officer. Additionally, Hearns faces charges for a separate incident last September, in which he allegedly shot a man in the leg on Lamberton Street. Another violent episode occurred when 5 GMB members reportedly opened fire on a group of people on Sanhicken Drive, injuring 2 men. Those charged in connection with the shooting include Willis, David Williams, 28, Sean Anderson, 21, Zaire Jackson, 24, and an associate known as Hood. Attorney General Christopher Esperino announced that a state grand jury has indicted 27 individuals accused of being part of a gang-affiliated drug network distributing in Newark. Among the defendants, 18 are charged with first-degree gang criminality as alleged members of the Red Breed Guerrillas, a faction of the Blood Street Gang. Authorities discovered that the Red Breed Guerrillas maintained a structured hierarchy that controlled drug distribution in the Stratford Place area and Grace West Manor townhomes along Irvin Turner Boulevard in Newark. The gang's dominance in this territory contributed to increased violence and criminal activities. Investigators found that individuals who were not associated with the Red Breed Guerrillas faced violent consequences if they attempted to sell drugs within the gang's controlled area. Colonel Rick Fuentes, superintendent of the New Jersey State Police, added, "The Red Breed Guerrillas' control over this neighborhood not only endangered residents through drug trafficking, but also due to the violence associated with protecting their territory." The investigation revealed that the gang operated with a distinct hierarchical structure, reinforcing its grip over the area. Burlington County Prosecutor Scott Kofina and Pemberton Township Police Chief David King have announced charges against 6 members of a street gang based in Sunbury Village, known as the Gotti Boy Movement, GBM. The individuals are accused of running a criminal enterprise responsible for multiple shootings, including 2 deletions, as well as burglaries, witness intimidation, firearms possession, and fraudulently obtaining over $125,000 in pandemic relief funds. In addition, 8 others have been charged for their involvement in assisting GBM with a financial scam related to COVID-19 relief funds. The charges stem from criminal activities dating back to September 2014, when shots were fired at a Pemberton Township police officer in Sunbury Village, an attack allegedly involving gang members Brown and Carter. Among those facing charges is Clifton, who's awaiting trial for the 2017 demise of Shaquille Williams in Sunbury Village. His co-defendant, Douglas Lewis, was convicted in 2021 and sentenced to 58 years in prison. Recent violent acts tied to GBM members have occurred in areas beyond Pemberton Township. In April, Carter and Young were charged with the demise of 18-year-old Yasin Robinson in Willingboro. Investigators revealed that GBM had an ongoing conflict with residents of Willingboro's Buckingham Park neighborhood, where Robinson lived. Robinson, a high school student with no connection to the dispute, met his demise while returning home from work. A week later, shots were fired into a home in the same neighborhood, injuring a woman and grazing a toddler. Young has been charged in connection with both shootings. Carter and Young also faced firearms charges from a separate incident earlier this year, and Foreman was indicted in 2021 for witness tampering after making threatening phone calls from jail. The group, along with other defendants, is accused of filing multiple fraudulent Paycheck Protection Program (PPP) loan applications. The PPP, part of the 2020 CARES Act, was intended to provide financial relief to businesses affected by the pandemic. The scheme generated nearly $125,000 in funds through false applications filed by GBM members and associates. Carter, for instance, claimed to be a barber with an income of over $105,000 in 2019, despite being incarcerated that year. He had 5 associates each received nearly $21,000 from the scam. 7 alleged members of the sex money murder faction of the Bloods gang have been arrested in connection with the beating and kidnapping of one of their own, according to Bergen County Prosecutor John L. Molinelli. Following a month-long investigation, the arrests were made based on an incident in North Arlington. Early in the morning on July 1st, police responded to a report near Bergen Avenue and 9th Street where they discovered a pickup truck with smashed windows. A female witness told police that several individuals in 2 vehicles had assaulted her boyfriend and forced him into one of the cars. She identified one vehicle as a burgundy Acura and provided a partial license plate number. By 10 a.m., police located the burgundy Acura outside an apartment building on President Street in North Arlington. Inside, they found Jesus Enrique Mart and his girlfriend, Yulissa Lorenzo Guerrero, who were taken into custody and charged with kidnapping and aggravated assault. Later that same day, authorities identified the occupants of the second vehicle, a white Honda, as Harold Williams and Diana Rodriguez, both residents of Garfield. They were arrested at their apartment on Outwater Lane and charged with the same offenses. Police located the victim in Passaic. He revealed that he was a former member of Sex Money Murder who had been attempting to leave the gang. After evading his former associates for months, he was attacked by 7 gang members, forced into a car at knife point, and driven to a pier likely in Hoboken or Jersey City where he was officially expelled from the gang. He was then assaulted again and left in Passaic. The comprehensive investigations and subsequent indictments of gang members throughout New Jersey underscore the relentless efforts of law enforcement agencies to dismantle these violent organizations and curb their influence. From narcotics trafficking and organized crime to violent acts of retaliation and intimidation, these gangs have sown chaos across the state. However, through strategic law enforcement collaboration, numerous gang leaders and members have been brought to justice, providing communities with some measure of safety and security. The ongoing battle against gang-related crime in New Jersey is far from over, but the indictments and prosecutions represent a critical step forward in reclaiming neighborhoods and reducing the violence that has plagued them.